All right, guys, we're looking at our fourth matchup of Week 5, and we're going to be looking at Man Thing versus the newly named O-Faces, formerly known as Hellhounds.
Is that permanent, by the way?
I don't know if it's permanent. I didn't really talk to him about it, but we're going to dive straight.
He probably hates me.
Probably. He changed his name for you, Mitchell. All right, let's dive into this. O-Faces has Phillip Rivers against the Jets, and Randolph has Russell Wilson at Washington. Russell Wilson's been really consistent, getting around like 15 to 20 points in that range. And Phillip Rivers has actually picked up where he left off last year and has been doing really, really well. And I think that's going to continue against the Jets. I give a slight advantage to Rivers. I think he's just a little bit better, and I think I like his matchup a little bit better, but it is really close. Running backs. Monty Ball and Gio Bernard versus Arian Foster and Chris Ivory. Chris Ivory's actually been surprisingly good this year, and Monty Ball has got off to a really slow start, and it's not about to get any better against Arizona, who's boasts a top 5 run defense. So, I'm not sure how Foster's going to do either, because he's been banged up and he's coming off the injury and stuff, but Gio's been pretty daggum nasty. It's close, but I'm going to go with Randolph, because Monty Ball, all he's got to do is get a touchdown to get his value, and Gio's been really solid all year. So
I'm going to tip it in Randolph's favor just for Gio. Just for Gio alone, just looking at it, tips in your favor, Randolph.
Now, wide receivers, Randolph definitely has the bigger names than Patterson and Keenan Allen. Versus Brandon Marshall and Dwayne Bowe.
Allen and Peterson haven't done shit.
Allen and Patterson both have not done anything this year, and I understand Randolph's frustration with these guys. I really expected bigger things out of Patterson, and I had Keenan Allen last year, and he just hasn't looked like the same guy. Now, granted, he's played some really tough defenses, and last week he had a decent game against Jacksonville, but we have to see if he can get back to where he was last year. And then O-Faces has Brandon Marshall. I really like Brandon Marshall a lot. They're going up against Carolina, but I hate Dwayne Bowe. So I'm going advantage towards Randolph again. I think it's like one receiver versus two. And I don't know. Just got to go that way. Yeah. Now, Greg Olsen versus Vernon Davis at the tight end spot. Vernon Davis has been banged up, and he's going up against Kansas City. I just don't know how well he's recovered from his injury, and Greg Olsen's been on fire here lately, and he's going back to Chicago against his old team. And Greg Olsen is a super awesome dude, and just been killing it fantasy wise. So I'm going to go with Olsen for the advantage there.
I agree.
And then Andre Johnson versus Torrey Smith. Andre Johnson. Torrey Smith is getting beat out by an old man named Steve Smith, who's looked like he went to the Fountain of Youth and looks like old Steve Smith
or younger Steve Smith. Yeah.
But so that's I'm going advantage towards Randolph there. Defenses, Panthers defense have had -7 points and -8 points the past 2 weeks. It sucks. So, and he's still got them in going up against Chicago. And then Randolph's got the Lions defense against Buffalo, which I think is a great matchup going up against Kyle Orton in his first start back. And kickers, who gives a shit?